Hey gamers, Flames here with another interesting new MMO. This time we'll be looking at Age of Wushu, or Age of Wulin properly named in Europe, a 3D fantasy MMORPG based in the world of Wuxia and during the reign of the Ming Dynasty. The game was developed and published by Snail Games, and it's very popular in China right now. But what is Wuxia? To put it in layman's terms, it's a superpower driven martial arts universe. Think of it as a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon MMO. There are a lot of Chinese terms you're going to have to get used to, and it's a very overwhelming game at first. There's a lot of content. Luckily the game provides a decent amount of help for beginners. I'll be spending about 20 minutes checking the game out and making some comments. Steam added the game to its Greenlight program, so if you like what you see, be sure to thumbs it up on their network. For players who are interested in trying something fresh and new, you might want to take the time and watch this video all the way through. Granted, this type of action roleplay isn't for everyone, but the game offers a lot of unique elements that hasn't been seen in big budget video games like this. So sit back and enjoy the ride, young grasshoppers. Alright, we have a lot of ground to cover, so let's start off with the character creation screen. As you can see, you have 4 different storylines to choose from. It doesn't add any restrictions choosing one or the other, it just gives you a little background story as to what you're doing and why. This will affect your character's starting area and the different cutscenes you'll be involved in. Let's try the Nameless Sword. I've already read this one. It's about a group of assassins who tried to kill me once, but luckily I was saved by a famous swordsman. Now I lost my memory and I'm seeking revenge on my assailants. This one looks pretty cool. Here's your own personal Wushu master in training. You've got several presets to choose from, and while it really isn't that visible in-game, you can really sculpt your character's face to your liking. Underneath these default faces, I can change my eyebrows a bit. I can pull them up. Ooh, I look mean. This one looks okay. And what if I do this? Oh, super wimpy. Mean, wimpy, mean, wimpy. Alright, that looks decent. And I can change my eyes. I can have really tiny eyes or huge ones. Anyways, you have a lot of other things to mess with, but your stash and your beard is really what's going to set you apart. I still can't grow a beard, so let's keep this guy well groomed. And over to the Hairstyles menu, you've got a couple to choose from. They're all pretty long, so there isn't that much of a difference. We also have to select your character's avatar. Some games are still giving us this option when it should be much easier just rendering the character you created as a portrait. But hey, life isn't perfect. Finally, we have to choose our initial outfit. This will probably be replaced after the first few levels, so let's just grab a cool looking shirt, some nice pants, and some comfortable boots. Since some people want to see what female characters look like, let's have a quick look. Oh, she looks kinda cute. You still have a lot of presets, the sculpting tools are all there. Just like we did previously, we can move those sweet eyebrows around. Those beautiful eyes just look perfect the way they are. Facial hair is replaced by makeup options, which does look kinda nice. And you've got a buttload more variety in hairstyles. She looks like a living, breathing toy doll, to be honest. Finally, you have neat looking ensembles. Let's just change this around a bit. And you are one sassy lady, if I do say so myself. Alright, enough customizations, my character is ready, set, and good to go. Time to see what Age of Wushu is all about. So, the adventure begins right here. They start you off with a little guide to show you how to move around and where to go. You're going to have to know your way around this game's interface, because they built it a bit differently than most. My first quest showing up on my right is to meet up with Jiang Huang. And I can also press F9 to hide people around me. I can still see their name over their head. Not sure why anyone would want to do that. Anyway, instead of looking around for my next quest giver, I can just click his name showing on my quest tracker, and away I go. Ah! Ah! Why is everyone screaming? Should I be scared of something? Oh, I think it's just because of these horses running around. Silly horsemen scaring everyone off. There you are, Mr. Huang. Do you want to play Weiqi with me? Well, I would, but they're not giving me the option. I guess I'll have to learn martial arts instead. Aw yeah, I just finished my first quest and I got a steaming loaf of bread. Just what I needed. They're offering me to become a VIP player, but let's stick to what is free for now. No, I do not want any VIP privileges. Alright, after talking to this guy, I gained a bit of experience and some reputation points, both of which are important, but what players should try to maximize is their cultivation points. And we'll get to that in a bit. Next, we need to speak to Zhu Jiangping. I'm sorry, my Chinese isn't all that it should be. Excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. Guess we can push NPCs around. There you go. I'm just ruining your morning, aren't I? Alright, that's enough trolling for one day. So I'm just moving around. I can either point and click or use the regular WASD keys. Mastery is the skillful balance of external and internal skills. Oh cool, so I'm about to learn my first internal skill. This is what really separates this game from the rest. Your character doesn't have levels per se, and equipment isn't all that critical. What's important is mastering your techniques. By using cultivation points, you'll be able to master the skills you've learned. Now you have regular skills that work like abilities you can have in any other game, but you also have internal skills, like the one I just learned. This changes your character's attributes to better suit your fighting style. For example, if you choose the path of a lightning-fast karate master, your internal skills should give you less bronze or strength, but increased DPS and cooldown effects. The internal skills you learn depend on the school you choose to be part of. Again, we'll get to that in a bit. Let's check out the game's fighting mechanics first. I am in the dojo, the martial arts school, with a lot of impressive senseis in front of me. Welcome to our school, my friend. I shall complete this task. And now I need to learn how to parry attacks. I'm looking for a guy named Zhuang Fei. There you are. I'm ready, let's begin! Ooh. So I'm just pressing the right mouse button, hoping his barrage of fists and kicks will... Oh, look, it's already over. I've been awarded a new skill, and it looks like a defensive stance. Embrace the moon. This is one of many shallow kung fu skills to learn. I'll just place this down here, and I'll have to repeat the process. Get ready, boy. Oh, and I need to activate this stance before going any further. Oh, forgot to block that. It looked painful. Alright, so I still have a few tutorials to go through. I'll just finish these up and I'll be right back with you guys in a bit. I'm already at my last martial arts lesson. I'm learning how to use my special techniques. I've learned how to punch, kick, and make someone fall over. Like so. Now these special techniques need rage to be activated. I just need to punch my way through this tutorial and I should finish this guy off with a cool looking maneuver. And voila! 24 hit combo, not too shabby. Here's a little diagram showing how the game's fighting mechanics work. My skills have a colored outline and there's a reason for that. Skills with red contours are offensive techniques. Green ones are defensive maneuvers, and blue ones are called feints, which can break through blocks. Think of it as rock, paper, scissors. Red breaks blue, blue cuts through green, and green blocks red. Leave it to the Chinese to make a simple kids game still interesting. Now that I've got my martial arts diploma for beginners, I can start exploring the vast Chinese continent in which we're playing in. I've tried messing around with the minimap, and I can say that this just isn't up to par. It's so tiny and the icons are huge, you may be able to find a store or an NPC 10 feet away from you, but if I'm really looking for something, I'm gonna have to use the big ash map. You can mark certain areas on it. If ever you're looking for a shop or a specific trainer, you have a good amount of help at the bottom. Yet I've still had problems fighting shopkeepers and guildmasters, so be warned, it takes a bit of getting used to. If I zoom out a bit, you can see all the different towns in the area. And if I go even further, you have the entire continent controlled by the Ming Dynasty. It's a pretty fast way to find a town. And if that wasn't enough help, you have a search bar to look up every NPC and monster you could possibly find in the game. kind of useful if you ask me. Let's see here, you want to defeat me? Cut it out, defeat my disciple first. What? I just don't know why he keeps telling me that. Why would I want to beat my teacher up? There are a couple of questions like these I've been asking myself since I started playing. There are a lot of translation issues. I actually skipped 1 or 2 quests because I wasn't too sure what they were asking me to do. The first open beta was apparently a lot worse than this. But I think this will be something they'll be working on continuously. So hopefully this will no longer be an issue after the first few patches. Okay, so someone needs help around here. I have 1 or 2 red dots on my minimap, which doesn't mean anything. Thank God I can click the green text to find the person who needs help. If that wasn't there, I would have probably had to Google that rotten quest. Oh, hello there, little girl. My kite got stuck on the roof, and I can't afford a new one. You think you could give me some money? I suppose? Don't worry, I'll get you back that kite of yours. Just before getting this quest, I learned a flying skill. It's not anything cool like what we saw in the video, but it's a very useful double jump. I just need to get close. Aw yeah, 360. All I need now is to get down from here. Another double flip with a counterclockwise 360. I'm ready for the Wushu Olympics. That's just great. Everyone in town suddenly knows a stupid flying skill. I wanted some pity money, not the stupid kite. Don't you recognize a con when you see one? Oh, that's a bad little girl. It really isn't a good idea scamming your way through life, missy. She deserved a good spanking, but I'm a nice guy. I'll let her off with a warning this time, and this time only. Alright, after doing the first few tutorials, I want to show you a bit more about the game's content later on. Like I said previously, my character doesn't have any levels, but I collected a few impressive skills along the way. I'm close to the shore right now, and I have this quest giver who needs my help. Fish, fish, come to me quickly! That's a weird way to greet someone. Those damn pirates rob the fishing boats by the sea every day. It's been 3 days since I fished. I'm going to have to kill a few of these pirates on the beach who are causing problems. Just underneath my skill bar, you can see the internal skill I'm using right now, and that's from my school. But I could place more to switch combat styles in an instant. I really haven't been playing all that much, and it's impressive to see how many skills I already have. Sadly, I still only have 1 flying skill ability, the double jump we acquired earlier. It doesn't look like it at first, but there are so many windows you can pop up. You've got a few above your character's health bar, at the bottom left and right, and like 12 different buttons around the minimap. Now, in order to kill these guys, I'll have to use my rock, paper, scissors strategy we talked about. And I noticed that mobs don't try to block your attacks very often. Because of that, I can just focus on overt attacks, aggressive ones, defending myself when I need to, and these guys should go down like sack of potatoes. So at the bottom left, I can stay in contact with my chums. There's a personal school chat channel that can warn other students of incoming enemies, invasions, or any other kind of activity. So I'm going to defend and wait for the right time to strike and use my special technique. Walk backward in 7 stars. Ooh, the guy's dead on the ground. Talk about an overkill. Oh well, how about that? I just got an announcement saying that a player named Crow was released from prison. I have seen this name before. If I go to the Jianghu rankings window, yep, that is the #1 player right now who was just set free. I'll go a bit more in detail after dealing with these guys, but keep in mind that once you create a character, they have a direct and permanent impact in the game and with other players. Some schools are known for being evil, but your own personal reputation depends on what you decide to do. For example, it's illegal to kill another player if you don't have a police or patrol status. And if that happens, well, you can be sent off to jail, or even worse, you can have your head cut off in front of everyone. You probably noticed my character's name changed since the beginning of the video. That's because I had to start playing on another account. The reason being, regular accounts right now only let you play an hour a day in this second closed beta. You might want to take that into consideration before downloading this big game. If you already know you're going to play a lot, you can upgrade your account right now and play the game without any restrictions. I've talked about schools in the beginning of the video. Once you start progressing in the game, you'll have to choose one of them. Some are good, some are evil, and some are neutral, but all of them are at war with one another. Your allies are your classmates, all the other students of the school you selected, and you can be part of a school guild that may help you fend off enemies. This is an open PvP world, non-stop. They actually warn you about this before even creating your character. So I'll try to make as many friends as I can before my corpse starts getting camped. Now I personally chose the path of a Tangman. I think of them as deadly ninjas. You can use darts to take down your enemies, and my trainers kept going on about how important it is to kill your foes very swiftly. The quests are actually interesting and a bit less repetitive than most. What I'm doing right now is the kind of quest you would expect from a typical MMO, but there's so much more. So this is done. You'll notice I have a few different tabs in my quest tracker. I've got general quests and a gossip tab. Now these are not necessarily quests, it's information your character collects from NPCs and other players. If you know what to do with this information, well, you can trigger events and new quests. Here's a quick look at my character's stats. My health, my energy, my vigor, and even my alcohol level. It says small, but I should be 100% sober. Okay, my character has done a lot of different things during his training. He's helped a lot of people, he's learned the ways of a martial artist, and he's racked up a decent amount of cultivation points. These are used to increase your character's skill level, and there are 3 ways of doing so. I actually forgot to select a skill to master. There we go. We have internal cultivation, practicing martial arts, and team practice. Now the first one, internal cultivation. It's a way you can level your skills over time while questing, so it isn't really time consuming. Practicing martial arts lets you manually spend your cultivation points. A yin-yang symbol spins while you spend your points, but it does cost a couple of coins if you prefer doing it this way. I can choose how much I want to spend, and by buying more expensive food while I'm practicing, I have a better chance of converting my experience into cultivation points. Finally, we have team practice that boosts your skills by playing a very simplified version of a DDR game. Doing this with other people and in specific areas will grant you even more experience. I'm about to start this thing off, but like you see, there's a lot more slots for people to fill. Okay, so I only had to press the J key to complete the first round, but I have 10 of these to do. They're a bit more complicated along the line, but nothing an elementary school kid couldn't do. The animations are really impressive. The developers actually worked with real martial artists to refine these kind of techniques. If you want to learn more about the process that went into all of this, I'll be adding a link in the description. Finally, we have my Jianghu tab. Jianghu, meaning rivers and lakes, is a term used to talk about the martial arts community. Here you can check out a lot of info about other players and NPCs who you've been interacting with. Trying not to oversimplify the game's mechanics, Age of Wushu seems to have a lot of familiar elements you'd find in a Facebook game. You have certain limits as to what you can do in a single day, and it constantly revolves around other players. For example, you can send gifts and prayers that sort of benefit both parties. Sending gifts costs quite a lot of money, and I don't have any friends to send them to. How sad is that? The Identity tab is used to view your different achievements and accolades. You can't really do them all at once, you have to unlock them first. When I joined the Tangman, I was awarded a cool ninja outfit. As a matter of fact, why don't I just wear it right now? There, that looks much better. You can have 3 different sets of costumes, including your regular fighting equipment. I can't say much about the lore tab since I haven't unlocked anything here, but once you do, you can select the achievement to enhance either your weapons, your armor, or your mount. It's really hard to say how much of an impact they really have. The skill record is sort of a timeline of your character's progression, but it isn't all that useful to be honest. I can go in the relationship tab and see everyone I recently encountered. So I can pick one of these guys out and maybe offer them my friendship, a gift, or some other stuff here. And over to the Forces tab, I can get a lot more information about the NPCs I encountered. This sexy old lady is our lovable school leader. I haven't met a lot of people yet, but I have a good idea of the chain of command this school has. Now that that's done, I'll just be calling over my epic steed, Nessie! Nessie the Third. You don't want to know what happened to the first two. One of the key features that makes this game so appealing to me is its vibrant environment and the music. Not to sound like an art critic, but it's nice to see everything around me so rich and full of color. Anyway, I'm on my horse, which isn't that expensive. A lot of players can get one very early on. And we'll just be going back into town and see what else there is to do in this game. So here I am in this little village. There are still people running around scared of horses. Do not fret, Nessie is a gentle beast. Here you can shop or set up shop. You'll notice a couple of players here who set up their own shopping stall. If you're looking for something in particular nearby, we can just go in the trade center and you'll be able to view all the nearby stalls. The same thing can be done if you're looking for a party. Wherever you are, you can view all the nearby players around in a window just like this. Pretty useful when you want to get a party going quickly. Nothing in this tab, and I guess your little shops also have quality control. Good ones have stars on the side. It's not even worth looking at what they have to sell, because I am super poor right now. Since we are talking about shops, we can check out the game's rare item store. These cost gold, which is separate from the game's usual currency. The items I see here all seem to be of temporary use, either 7 days or 30 days. There's a lot of stuff, but it's mostly for aesthetic purposes. Hey look, I look like Ezio Auditore. I can pick up one of these sweet jackets or hats, but I'm not gonna do that right now. I've been showing you guys a lot of the combat portion of the game, but professions are also an important part. On the bottom left, I can switch from my combat skills to my life skills. My interface stays the same, but I have this new skill bar. Here's the entire list of professions. My only job right now is being a beggar, if you consider being a bum a full-time job. As a beggar, I have to convince other players to give me money, but more important jobs need you to play a few mini-games. I'm trying to find people around here, but everyone seems to be offline. Here you have another player who's begging for money, but she isn't playing. This is what I was talking about earlier. Your character is consistently part of the game even if you aren't. Say I want to go offline right now. The game is giving me a heads up about the different tasks my little ninja here might be performing while I'm away. And the available tasks change depending where you log off. Last time I logged out in town and I was taking care of a betting shop. If I were to log off while my character was at school, he'd probably be patrolling the area for spies. Speaking of which, let's go see what the Tangman school looks like. If I just bring this window up, I can teleport right over there. It's a 5-minute cooldown, and I only have 2 different waypoints, but I could always buy more slots if I wanted to. A big part of the game's success is their custom game engine called Flexi. It's a long-term solution so they can keep adding new content for future updates without really worrying about changing their platform. This really is what sets them apart from the competition. The landscaping and architecture is really impressive. As a matter of fact, a lot of what you see is based off of real-world landmarks, monuments, and buildings still present in China. I'll also be adding a link in the description if you want to learn more. To wrap up this video, I thought it'd be a good idea to show you a bit of PvP with my newly discovered twin here. This should be pretty interesting. Oh, he's accepted the challenge. 3, 2, 1. Let's get this thing started. Oh, it's already going badly. I got stunned. He's gonna be able to land a few punches. I just need to defend. Run! Ah, stunned again. I already lost half of my health and I barely even touched him yet. Whoa, a little teleport there. I am so losing this one. Let's go out with a final blow. I didn't even use my finisher. Oh well. You can't really win all of them. Let's talk more about the game's currency. You have 2 main types with very similar names. Silver coins are the basic type. You can use this to buy stuff from NPCs, but they're considered bound to your character. If you want to trade with other players, you're going to need silver, and not silver coins. You see the problem here? To make things even more complicated, both currencies use wen as the designated term for pennies. Since it's really confusing, people in North America and Europe have been differentiating them on the forums by calling them either bound or unbound silver. Let me see if my newfound friend here has some spare change I could borrow. Another way the game tries to keep their game profitable is to offer players VIP privileges. Snail games strive to stay away from the pay-to-win game model, but allowing players to gain more experience than others doesn't seem quite right. Nope, he really doesn't have the money. Looks like we're just two very poor ninjas. I'm losing health points. Looks like I'm hungry. I have to go eat something because I'm literally starving to death. Obviously there's a lot more to cover, like daily quests, instances, and guild functions. But this should give you a good idea of what this game is all about. If you think this game's for you, head on over to their official website, ageofwushu.com, download the beta, and start playing right now. For more info, head on over to MMOHut.com. We've got a full review of the game and some great articles you can check out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in-game very soon. Flames out. See you guys on the flip side.